Step into the game. We the Curry brothers, night and day network. We bring awareness to the community, spreading consciousness. With the truth we chase greatness. In the darkness we shine like the brightest stars, using our platform to break mental prisons. You know who we are. From the streets to the stage, we never back down. Constantly evolving, we wear the crown. Mindful warriors, we're changing the game. Never staying the same. Night and day network, we're here to stay. Bring awareness and consciousness every single.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer, don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on, the battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
What up, y'all?
What in the hell is going on out here?
What's going on? We got an impactful show for y'all today. Definitely got an impactful show for y'all today. We got Katt Williams still speaking out. He said a lot of these rappers are feds, man. I mean, we kind of already heard that.
Yeah,
over
man,
the
we
years.
heard this in and out
Over the years. And we definitely gonna get into it, man. For y'all just tuning in, please make sure y'all hit that like button upon entering this live stream. Shout out to y'all that's just tuning in. You know what I mean? Welcome to Night and Day Talk Media. Shout out to the new subscribers. And this video is sponsored by nightandayherbals.com. We sponsor our own live streams, our own show with our own products. You know what I mean? And we sell nothing but natural products on our site for skin, for hair, for detox, even CBD. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all check that out. And man, let's go ahead and get into this joint, man. I guess a lot of y'all catch this joint on the replay, but we gotta get into it, bro. We gotta get into Katt Williams. Katt Williams always outspoken. You know what I mean? Comedian, always being outspoken. You know what I mean? Telling us what's what from the Hollywood side of things. So we're gonna get into this quick clip that he recently did on the podcast. I get the podcast name in a minute. All right. Make sure y'all hit that like button too if y'all just coming in here. We appreciate that. All right, so he recently did an interview with Theo Von podcast where he was asked about the feds, hip hop rappers, working with the feds. So let's go ahead and get into this clip. And we got other clips that, that back this clip up as well. So let's go ahead and get into this. But let me know if y'all can hear this too. Put a thumbs up in the chat.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Feel like they would say, okay, we're going to bring you in unless.
Absolutely. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like in the rap world, like all of the rappers that that never been to jail and never gotten any trouble with the law, but they talk as if their life is opposite of that. Like those are federal informants. Like,
You think they're really out there?
Yeah.
That's Katt Williams on Theo Von podcast. Y'all can watch that full interview on Theo Von YouTube channel. So yeah, man. Let's switch lanes. So y'all remember Kanye coming out exposing Diddy for being a fed, saying they get away with a lot of things because they gotta work with the feds. Right. Basically saying he was working with the feds. And we're gonna get into an interview that Gene did on Vault Entertainment podcast too. So let's get into this real quick.
Selecta.
The devil is a defeated foe. You can't poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up.
Okay. So
Y'all remember Kanye? Drink Champs.
La da 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 da.
And yeah. I mean, if you go back and you think about hip hop in the early 90s when gangster rap came about, which we're gonna get into, but because all this is really part of the same subject. There's no two different subjects in the title. It's all same thing, but gangster rap, the way gangster rap swarm over, conscious hip hop and kind of like diverted conscious hip hop because the corporations came in and said, listen, we could pay these rappers more to to basically rap about what's going on in the hood from the gangster side of things. Because remember, everything's about conscious rap. You know what I mean? Remember everybody's wearing the African black medallions, the leather black medallions back in the day. Everybody was wearing them Jones. Everybody was wearing the college, what was that Jones? The college hoodies with the patch on the side and all that. During that time, everything was conscious. They was wearing the hats. The whole entire was that. But then, when niggas, when they start speaking about certain things, they like, oh, well, we got to kind of like break this up. So what can we do?
Well, the industrialists came in and thought we can also make this an agenda.
Like,
they break it up first, but then they like, all right, now we can weaponize it. We can turn it around. Instead of them reporting about what's going on in the hood, we're going to glorify it. And we're not going to let any artist on the radio or any type of publication if they not glorifying. That's when gangster rap was born. Gangster rap, all of that, that's what they wanted. Now they can use that, to brainwash the people in the black community, specifically in America. And that's what they did. It worked.
Exactly.
Because you see all the young cats, they even worse than the generations before with this drill music.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, it just progressed, and it got worse to the point where it's so weaponized. Young cats are just off each other in the street like nothing.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it's all to keep the prison industrial complex up.
Which I was going to get into that too. We got Mr. Ice Cube man himself mentioning about hip hop. Basically fed the industrial prison complex. He's saying basically early on they was approached earlier, but they didn't really know too much about the inside of what was going on until they got further along in their career, and that's when it hit them like, oh, all right, we being used. But it seemed like as they got further along, they was with the program because a lot of them from the gangster rap, I would say NWA mainly. After that, they don't moved on and got big deals with Hollywood. Dr. Dre getting big deals, and Ice Cube being mainly them two though, because Ice Cube being a writer and then Dre being the producer. They knocked off Eazy-E. You know what I'm saying?
And none of them was even living the lyrics of those songs except for Eazy-E.
Exactly.
Like none of them were fully None of them were fully living those lyrics out. And then when Eazy-E got put on, he ain't have to live those lyrics anymore. But they still rap them.
You still rap them.
That's part of the deal.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I wanted to yeah, let's get into this. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, y'all, because
The Katt said that the cats that be in the game talking about they do this and do that but never go to jail, he said those are the feds. You know what I'm saying? And if they working for the industrial prison, if they working for that type of system where they setting people up to send them to jail based off of weaponizing the music, you know the feds is behind that, both sides of the fence. So you already know they probably don't only just got rappers under their thumb. They got actors, actresses. You know what I'm saying? You see Dr. Phil, y'all seen the live stream we did yesterday. Go check that out. Dr. Phil going around arresting immigrants. Like, this dude was just on television. You know what I mean? As a fake psychiatrist. Now he's out there arresting immigrants. Lock them up. Like, how, where he get the authority to do that? So, you know what I mean? What Katt is saying is correct. It's all state-sponsored stuff. It's like the state took over the entertainment industry and a bunch of other industries along with the corporations. Now it's just one big system that they created here. Hey, man. Hey, people, the information is out there. It's up to the people to gravitate towards it and to do something about it. Or just let it continue. And it's just, things are just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Right.
It's going to get worse and worse. To tell you the truth, a lot of those celebrities and stuff, they look like they taking them out. It look like they. I mean, if I was one of those celebrities right now, I'd be shook. I'd be looking over my shoulder because you see how they blast them in the media, and the next thing you know, they got cases, and then next thing you know, people from the past are saying they did this to them and did that to them. So it's like these celebrities, they on a timer too. They on their way up out of here.
Hell yeah.
A lot of them's on their way up out of here, and they know it.
Hell yeah.
They scared as hell out. They shook.
They shook as hell.
War going on outside. No man is safe from.
Yo, make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all just tuning in. Let's get into this quick clip with Gene
Melvin
breaking down Diddy earlier in his career, ties to the feds. You know what I mean? I guess a lot of niggas is like going back in a memory bank and kind of like connecting the dots with shit and speculate. I mean, it's still all speculation because it really wasn't nothing on file that this nigga was working with the feds, but a lot of people that was around during that time, as they look back on at the beginning of when these niggas started in the early 90s, they kind of like connecting the dots, like, because these niggas is getting out of trouble. They doing a lot of things. They ain't going to jail. You know what I mean? Hip hop police is becoming big in New York, and they're telling a lot of rappers and all that. So let's get into this clip real quick. This is
Combs,
Gene,
right?
This is Gene on the PVD podcast.
Similar. Do you think Diddy was an FBI informant? You think the feds had him?
I think that they knew about him a long time ago, and there's certain situations that came out, like this guy, paperwork, found some information where Puff was seeing a federal agent in DC. And it popped up. He had an appointment with a federal agent in DC.
What year?
And I think 91. Somewhere when he was
that early.
That early. I don't know why or what was the situation. It came out.
Wow. Diddy seen with a federal agent in 91? That's way before he becomes somebody.
Yeah, but
They already know who he is because his dad was working with Nicky Barnes. Same
Da,
thing
da,
with
da, da, da.
Same thing with Tupac. His mom being part of the Black Panthers and that whole. They already know who these niggas is. They already know who they tied to already. Same thing with the mafia. When these niggas, the mafia be, people be going into the families and all that. They already know who's who. They already know who these niggas is before they even become somebody. So they gonna get approached early because they know, all right, y'all about to be some of the biggest influencers in the world. We need tabs on that. We got to make sure y'all ain't running no shit against the government. Because you remember that all that shit started with J. Edgar Hoover. He was the nigga that was, you know what I mean, started the whole FBI thing. And that was based off of telling niggas, finding out different things about different organizations and shit like that. like
I think
like
it
the
runs
nation,
even deeper than that.
like the Nation of Islam and
I
all those
think it
different
runs
groups.
even deeper than that because I feel like the FBI started a branch of Hollywood. Like
Right.
almost like, yeah, like a network of people that they control in Hollywood.
Mhm.
That's how they able to get all their propaganda and all their agendas into the TV shows and the movies and all that stuff we watch. And it's like it's all connected. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they working for the feds. Yeah, because the feds created their own branch, and I feel like they did the same thing with social media.
Right.
It was to the point where the feds was running Facebook.
Yeah,
The
right. They
feds was
still
in there
is.
running Facebook.
Yo, make sure y'all hit that like button. We gotta get them likes over 100. We almost 300 people in here. Let's go ahead and get them likes over 100. But let's continue this with
It's the same stuff,
James
bro.
said.
They do the
You
same
got to
stuff
realize
over and over again.
Right.
he was doing a lot of parties. He was doing some lot of things in DC, and I think it was possibly because there was an incident when some people died.
Got it.
All
Similar to the other one with the 9 kids.
So yeah,
Got it.
similar to that. But you got to realize this: at somebody, a certain person, and I'm not going to speak his name because I said I wasn't going to speak their name. They was offered a proffer agreement in 2011, but they wanted them to tell them the story of Puff with underage boys at their proffer agreement in 2011, brother.
Okay, so that's 13 years ago. We're talking, so 91 is kind of weird to me, but I'd be curious to know what that one's about. So how closely do you follow Epstein?
All right, so that's the clip from Big Gene saying, damn, Diddy was approached back in 91. Yeah, y'all remember that at the party he threw, all them people got crushed and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's an opportunity for them to swoop in and be like, all right, well, we know you got influence over certain aspects that we need intel on. You think they ain't want to keep intel on these rappers, bro?
Right.
Being as though they had so much influence, especially niggas like Tupac that had influence, Nipsey Hussle, niggas that can organize and actually bring people together. That's the people they gonna watch. Michael Jackson definitely was we know he was like the FBI was telling him like he was the number one person we gotta watch. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me get this shout out real quick. Hold on. Get this shout out real quick. All right, we're gonna get a shout out. We're gonna get this shout out to just my what's that? Just my
4 cents. Yeah,
It
just
says,
my 4 cents.
was Diddy partnered with Heavy D when people were trampled at one of their parties in the early 90s? I think so. I think Heavy D, because they was all part of that
Yeah, that
Uptown
was
Records.
an event. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
an event that they all was a part
Yeah, they
of.
always part of
Sure.
Uptown Records. So during that time, they was all in business with each other. But Andre Harrell, you know what I mean? Puff being Andre Harrell's assistant, and then Heavy D being partnered up with, being a producer of Uptown Records and partnered with them. Yeah. They was around that time. They was all in business around that time. But Puff was like the main nigga throwing the parties though. He was the party nigga, man. He was the organizer. He was the party thrower. You know what I'm saying? That was his thing.
That was like a fire safety hazard and everything. It was against
Everything,
all
bro.
regulations. It was too many people in the building.
It was too many, bro. Yeah, they had too many in there.
Right.
There was another video I wanted to pull up. Hold on, y'all.
Makes you think, where was law enforcement around? You know, law
Right.
enforcement had to be around. They didn't notice it was too many people.
Facts.
See, that's the type of stuff that be suspect. Cause you know they be all around those events.
Right.
They be ready for somebody to do something, especially when there's a bunch of black folk. So they
Go.
probably.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me no type of fire department and nobody seen all them people in that building
Exactly.
and said this is against regulation? Yeah, all right. See, that's the type of stuff right there. It be
Right.
covert. Never mind, man. Y'all know where I'm going.
Y'all know what
Covert.
he's talking about.
Covert
Right.
operations, man.
Yo, please smash
Covert.
that like button. If y'all just coming in, smash. Let's get them likes up. So there's the algorithm. Go ahead and push this. Where we at with them likes? Are we over 100 yet? Because we still got more to cover and get into. This video is sponsored by NightandDayHerbals.com. Natural CBD, natural hair care and skincare products, natural detoxes, and more. Make sure y'all head over to Night and Day Herbals. The video, the link is in the description of this video and pinned to the top of the chat. So we're gonna get into Ice Cube. So Ice Cube did an interview with Bill Meyer, on Club Random Podcast, where he was breaking down gangster rap feeding the industrial complex. Like, I mean, Ice Cube was like the #1 writer of gangster rap around that time. If it wasn't like Ice-T, it was Ice Cube, it was the DOC. You know what I'm saying? Even though DOC was more on conscious gangster rap, if that's what you want to call it, more like real reality rap. They always into the reality rap. That's what they call it. It wasn't even called gangster rap yet. Before it was called gangster rap, it was called just reality rap. That's what it was called. And then the media got a hold of it and called it gangster rap. Gangsters didn't look at it as being gangster rap. They just looked at it as like, this is the shit we live day to day, every day. This is reality rap. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into Ice Cube talking to Bill Meyer about feeding the prison industrial complex. All right.
Who benefits and profits off our bickering in our division? It's like follow the money. I don't know their names, but if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, okay, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. Some records are made by committee. Meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people, feel like they're being controlled by the label. This is how they do it. Telling you what songs to sing, what hooks to do, what songs, you can do your song. That's fine. That's an album cut. But the single is what we all say is the single. So you have, the record company pushing the narrative, so this to me is in somewhat, some social engineering going on here to
Hold on, pause this real quick.
to make.
He left out the part where they pay you more the more gangster you write. See, that's the thing. That's where he's leaving out, because what's the name? They didn't make you write those lyrics. The part that Cube is leaving out is because they pay you the most to write those types of specific lyrics. Not only do they pick your songs, but you're not even going to go in there with nothing that you already know they're not going to approve of. And you know it got to be extremely gangster, and that's what they're going to pay you for. So if it's extremely gangster, you're going to get the big bucks. If it's not, if it's that conscious stuff, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be on the shelf forever. You know what I'm saying? So the more gangster you write, the more you sound like you glorifying it, because if y'all remember at the beginning of gangster rap, it was more like they was reporting what's going on in the hood.
It was reporting in the hood.
It was more so reporting it, like, you know what I mean? Like they were news, like they were the news, you know what I mean? The voice for the neighborhood to tell everybody, the rest of the world, what was going on in the neighborhood. But then it switched to glorifying that. Non-stop glorifying it. You know what I'm saying?
It was like a report.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, they started glorifying. Same thing with they started reporting that they were selling drugs. Then they start glorifying that they selling drugs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then they would start glorifying doing drugs, being on drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That's the evolution of hip hop right there.
Yeah, that's like weird.
Or the de-evolution. My bad.
Right. And all those things land you in prison. And all those things land you in prison eventually.
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get
that's crazy.
We're gonna get into the secret meeting of hip hop too that took place in the early 90s. We're gonna get into that, but I wanted to finish this off with Ice Cube breaking it down. So let's continue.
Right, give me Mo. Now they self-snitching. Facts. Now they self-snitching in the music. Facts. That's another level right there.
That's another level.
Self-snitching is a whole nother level. We could do a whole live stream just on that.
The de-evolution of hip hop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
and how sick it got, so sick to the point. It's so sick to the point where they just snitching on each other to land each other in prison.
Matter of fact, this
snitching on themselves to land themselves in prison.
The next live stream we do will be the follow-up.
The mind control goes, the brainwashing.
Matter of fact, we'll do that for this follow. That'll be the follow-up live stream for this one. So if you ain't subscribed to this channel yet,
we got to do this.
Subscribe to this channel, click that like button, and make sure y'all turn all notifications on, because so y'all know when we go live too. So yeah, we'll do that for the follow-up live stream. It'll be that, the de-evolution of hip hop. You know what I mean? And the psyop of hip hop as well. So, and the psychological damage that it did to the community. So let's continue with this.
They full. Now, there's a lot of dots to connect to make that happen. But I'm just giving you a broad example of how people at the top can manipulate what's going on with the people who are bickering and fighting. I just gave you a music example, but there's examples of
can I cross-examine this theory?
Of course you can cross-examine, of course.
I know, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if your theory is that the prison industrial complex, and I agree, that's an abomination. Start off with there. Prison I've done editorials on this on my show. Prison is one of those things that should not be in private hands.
Yes.
Along with healthcare, a few other things that are like, the good part of socialism. They should not be run by people for profit. I agree with that.
Yes.
I did not know about this connection to the music industry, that it's the exact same people. If by that you mean that the people who run the record companies may have stock in prisons, private prisons, that's possible, because they all have. I mean, do they actually, like, Monday, Tuesday go to work as a record company executive, and Wednesday through Friday go to work at the prisons? No. Okay, so
of course they're not actually running the labels.
They have financial interest.
They have financial interest.
Okay, so if they have financial interest in the prisons, and your theory, if I'm following correctly, is that the kind of stuff in rap lyrics works as a funnel to get people inspired to do the kind of things that would get them in prison, right? Like, for example, writing a lyric, "Fuck the police."
Yeah, I mean, writing a lyric, "Fuck the police,"
might get somebody arrested and sent to prison.
That might get somebody arrested and sent to prison. That's just one example, one record that the record company did not manipulate. That's pure artistry.
Right.
But I've seen labels. I've
did they
worked with artists.
Did they manipulate you?
No, I'm an independent artist. Always have been. I started off on independent labels.
So how were you able to?
And
I don't know
Yeah,
about that,
but
Q.
listen. He Q,
Bro.
you, bro. They said, listen, you come back with this. We don't want to hear this, because you know Cube started venturing off into the conscious rap. I mean, and you know, certain albums, certain things he was putting out.
We gotta be
Yeah, we
real,
want
man.
that.
We
We
gotta
need
start
this.
being real, man.
We want
We
this.
gotta start being
You know what I
honest
mean?
with ourselves.
They didn't want that other Ice Cube lyrics. They wanted the ones where, you know, the more gangster you are. So I don't know about that Ice Cube. I don't know about, you know, you was controlled by the money, bro.
At
It's
the
like, listen,
beginning, he was more towards probably the, you know what I mean, towards this time of his career, as far as with the music, because he had been putting out conscious stuff. He put out a lot of conscious stuff, but it's just that, you know what I mean, the mainstream stuff was the biggest records were the ones that were the companies backed them, where he was being manipulated and controlled. He just admitted to it.
Exactly.
They wasn't those companies that gave them niggas a chance. They wasn't giving him nothing if it wasn't for him writing Gangster and glorifying it. They wouldn't have got nothing if they didn't do that.
Right.
It wouldn't have been no Jerry Heller. It wouldn't have been none of that shit.
Nope. Oh damn, my bad. Let me just my 4 cents that Heavy D name was in the media because Puffy was unknown back then. Right. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. All right, shout out to Dana Mitchell. We appreciate the super chat, Dana Mitchell. We appreciate that.
Shout out to y'all, man, who've been supporting us, man.
Shout out to y'all that's been supporting, because we definitely gonna keep this content flowing. I know we gotta break down the real shit, man. Like all that bubblegum shit, we ain't with it. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta start keeping it real, man. Like for real.
Shit that's
like
really
Cube, you know damn well they was manipulating you they manipulated everybody with this shit.
Right.
Everybody was programmed some type of way. And the thing is, they created this false op against it. Because you remember they made it hard for them to perform some of those songs as NWA in certain areas.
Yeah.
Like they didn't let them perform F the Police. They didn't let them perform. It was a lot of songs they didn't let them but that was all part of the act. They really wanted them to perform those songs even against their will, because it would create anarchy, which would mean more people in prison, which means more money for them.
Facts.
Like they had this, like they so strategic with it. It's insane. So yeah, Cube, you was manipulated, bro, and you already know that.
And then again, when they, you know, a lot of them was young then, so they
we
really
all
didn't
were.
know. Yeah, we didn't really know the extent that we was being manipulated and how we was being used. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Until we got further along and we actually was able to discern and connect the dots as more shit started coming out. I think the information age or the internet opened that portal up for us to actually, you know, tap in and discern a lot of this shit and connect the dots. And I think that's what happened. Because you gotta think about, like, during the early 90s when niggas was rapping about the Illuminati and all that, we didn't know what that shit was then. Especially when Prodigy was saying Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. But he was dropped. It sounded hot, right?
We ain't know what he was talking about. It just sounded hot,
right? But then further along, like, you know, maybe, you know, 10 years later, all the stuff started, you know, being funneled through the internet. We was actually able to catch on, but a lot of them had the knowledge because they was in Mecca, New York. A lot of them was
in the center of it.
Yeah, a lot of them was having meetings. Like they was having meeting with the, you know, the Dr. Khalid Muhammad's and, you know, Bobby Emmett's and all the you know, scholars around that time. You know what I'm saying? So they was privy to the information before anybody else really was. But yeah, let's continue. I think we got a little bit left on this Cube thing, and then we got some other videos and stuff we gonna tap in and dissect.
Avoid this trap that so many others fell in. What did you do right?
I wouldn't let an A&R asshole in my studio. Like, you're not fucking coming in here telling me how to make a record.
Right.
I'm coming from the heart. I'm gonna do what I feel. So I never allowed an A&R to. I never had anybody A&R me, but Dr. Dre. You know. So
that's pretty.
I just wasn't ever going for it, and they just kind of like let me alone do my thing. And I was on an independent label like Priority. I wasn't on a major. And majors, they do it with singers, they do it with rappers. They have a lot to say in what's the finished product.
Isn't it always the case anywhere?
Pete, what he said that's where they got the controls in the finished product. Like, all right, we don't want these records. We want these set of records right here. And they will actually make them go back and cut more records if they ain't satisfied. If the committee is not satisfied with the records that's being presented to them, they would make them go back and cut more. That's why a lot of rappers started recording like 100. Like they got an album deal, whatever. They had recorded like 100 songs, so they have a lot to pick from because they caught on to the record companies like, all right, we don't want these set of songs. Go back and cut some more. Go back and cut some more songs, and it costs to do that. So a lot of these niggas just started recording a bunch of songs and just have songs on the back burner just in case, the record committee didn't pick certain songs. You know what I mean?
And mind you, they put certain frequencies into the beats.
Yeah.
To put people in type of a trance, like
right.
a hypnotic state. And then you add that along with the pills that the kids be taking, the alcohol, all that stuff mixed together. Pills, the alcohol, the frequencies in the music, and the lyrics of the music.
Yeah, that was gonna
end up in prison. That's a whole experiment right there. That's a whole that's a whole covert operation.
Now there was layers. If you go back and listen to like NWA, Public Enemy, you can hear the different. If you got an ear though, you can hear the different layers of the music that they laid on top of each other. So it'd be like a layer of just sound effects, a whole bunch of sound effects, sirens, helicopters, gunshots, anything that involved with the hood. I think a lot of these niggas went into the, a lot of the, sound guys went into the hood and just started, had the mic and just recording shit because they had like a whole layer of that. But then you got a whole layer of the music where it's the bass. You know what I mean? Certain bass frequencies. Then you got a layer of, the ad libs in the background and shit. Samples, all different types of samples they put. If y'all go back and listen to NWA and Public Enemy shit, mainly those two groups, you will hear all those different layers in the music, bro.
And you know what
it's
that
like
do?
Mad shit. It was mad shit in the bro.
You know what that do, JR? It triggers certain it triggers certain things in your mind, like it's in your psyche, and that's what puts you in the hypnotic state to have you actually go do things that bring those things into your reality.
Facts.
And the frequency, is placed over the base, so it attached certain parts of your brain to have you in a deeper hypnotic state, and then added with the drugs and the alcohol, bro, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's different.
That's a whole crazy operation that they brought in chemists and psychiatrists and people who know how to work with spirits and frequencies. And bro, I'm telling you, that's a whole covert operation right there.
Dang.
Like that's advanced, bro. That's advanced.
A lot of these
it's like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, it's like That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
We're in show business, but okay, let's just talk music. Where the people who are the most talented and are making money, therefore, for the label, of course you get to, of course you get to make your own rules, because it's always about, if you're making money for me, you can get away with anything. Roseanne once sang the national anthem in front of some stadium before like the Super Bowl or some big game, World Series or something, and like butchered it almost on purpose. It was like, you can imagine what America made of fucking with their precious anthem. They went apeshit. But her show was #1 on ABC, so they kept her. Later on, she did something bad and they got rid of her. Times had changed. But my point is, like, when you're making people money, they're going to leave you alone. It's the people who can't afford to tell them to fuck off.
I don't know about that.
Really?
I think the more money you make, the more money that you're making for a label, more than likely, the more money you're costing to
Hey,
Control. All right, that's Bill Myers' podcast. Y'all can, you know what I mean? We got to get into it, bro.
I don't really hear anybody touching it this deep. Pause. No Diddy.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
Niggas ain't really going in this deep, like how they got it all structured and set up like this crazy dark black operation that they running from out of some like dungeon. Because you gotta think about it. You gotta think about the type of darkness that they bringing into our community through this. Like how they channeling all this stuff and it's like chaos. It brings chaos to us, but it brings profit and comfortability to them.
But I think they just took what was already there.
That's wild,
and
y'all.
And weaponized it because we was already at a dire strait, being as though we was born into these environments where we had less resources, right? So it already created that environment before hip hop even came along. That environment was already created because we had less resources. So if you put a whole bunch of people in an area with less resources, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight amongst each other. So it was already there. The element and shit was already there. Now they seen we was able to overcome that shit by using music. You know what I mean? Same thing we did with slavery when we was singing.
Yeah, UNITY. Remember, music used to be like that.
Yeah, when we was singing Negro
it's
Spirit
the unity
during slavery, niggas was singing the Negro spirituals with coded messages in it during slavery.
Bad.
We did the same shit with hip hop. We always did that. We always transcended. You know what I mean, past the the oppression we was in by using music and shit like that. So hip hop was just another form of us expressing our shit through oppression. You know what I mean? And hip hop, the establishment realized what hip hop was becoming, and they threw a monkey wrench in that shit, bro. Because hip hop, people that was involved with hip hop early on was gang members. You know what I mean? It was the gangs during that time. You know what I mean? The gangs in New York and all that shit. Like,
niggas started unifying though. And
then they started yeah, that's what happened. Gangs
niggas started unifying, bro.
Hip hop. Yeah, hip hop started unifying a lot of the gangs in New York.
Yep, and it scared the shit out of the establishment. That's why they reinforced their whole program when they seen we started unifying.
Right.
They ain't like that shit.
They seen us gathering in parks and shit. They're
right.
Like, all right, police and shit. They seen feds came in, seen like, hold on, this gang was just beefing with this gang last week. Now they all in the park gather with each other. Then they started examining shit even closer. Like, what the hell is these people up to? Why is all these gangs coming together, jamming in the same park? What's going on with this? Diversion. They said we got to break this shit up by any means. Got to break this up. You know what I mean?
So what they do, they pay the gatekeepers more, because you gotta realize they got the plantation niggas, but then they got the house niggas, and those are the gatekeepers.
All right.
And they make sure they pay people the big bucks to keep the program running. The shit that's fresh on the radio.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, to keep the program going, because the niggas that control the media, control all the publications, they gonna make sure their frequency get out louder than anybody.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's been happening. But it seemed like they getting rid of their gatekeepers now.
Yeah, they getting rid of them. They don't need them.
They don't need them because they about to replace them niggas with AI. And we've talked about that on plenty of other live streams.
Right.
This system is changing.
It's changing big time.
It's changing big time.
And the thing about it is, being as though these corporations came in and started, pumping a lot of their products through the black community. Like I said, the element of gangster was always there, but when we started using hip hop, was just a form of expression to express what was going on around us. And like you said, Isaiah, they weaponized that shit against us. Yeah, I mean, they already put it. We already in these areas with less resources, so it's creating that environment already. But then we found an outlet, which was music, and that kind of started unifying people when they started weaponizing that shit and using it against us. You know what I mean? So I want to get into this crazy bone breaking down. It was an early hip hop meeting in the early '90s with certain heads of hip hop, record companies, artists. They all came together at this secret meeting at this location, at this mansion where they don't really know where the hell they was going, and pretty much was given the plan to basically turn the heat up on gangster rap because we got to feed these prisons. So we're gonna get into
Crazy,
that
bro.
with Crazy Bone breaking that down. I mean, a lot of y'all probably seen this, but a lot of people didn't. So we're gonna recap this. But before we get into that, man,
Make sure y'all smash
Night
that
Day.
like button.
Yeah. And this video is sponsored by NightandDayHerbals.com, where we sell nothing but high quality CBD, hair care, skincare products, and detoxes on our site. So make sure y'all go over there and check out our website, NightandDayHerbals.com.
5 stars on Google. Y'all want to research us? I mean, we've
5
been doing
stars
this
on
for 6
Google.
years.
6 years in business. We ship out, get our packages out in a timely fashion. We don't F around with that. So make sure y'all go ahead and support our business. 15% off by using Indie Herbals 2025 during checkout. Let's go ahead and get into this, bro.
Get it?
Let's get into matter of fact, because we still ain't getting to the segment with we'll get into it.
Candace Owens, it all ties in.
Yeah, let me tie. Yeah,
That's gonna end it off nicely, to tell you the truth, because
Yeah.
it's just gonna reinforce what we've been talking about.
Right. So we're gonna get into this Crazy Bone joint. All right. Let's get into it.
The letter is the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation. Damn. So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for. Damn. Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell a story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, not just playing.
Look, that black van.
So look, so he says between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign the confidentiality agreement, preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, Jake.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on one second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
So let them know what's going on. So this is crazy, bro. I'm reading a letter that became in publication back in the early 2000s of a dude that was at a secret meeting in hip hop. He didn't disclose any names of the people that was there, but it was a meeting in the early 90s of hip hop where they met with a lot of investors, artists, financial people, and they met at this mansion where they said, you know, they wanted to put a plan together, to devise a plan together to basically feed the prison industrial complex by using gangster rap, by using gangster music. So this is the letter he's reading right here of the publication that was put out back in the early 2000s. So just to get y'all a brush up on this, for y'all that didn't know, for y'all that do know, you know what I mean? Well, let's continue. Please hit that like button. Where we at with the likes? Oh, we had 209. We'll get them Jones up a little more, but we appreciate,
a little more.
we appreciate y'all clicking that like button, though. You know what I mean?
Popcorn, get your pistol. No, for
real though.
He said, get your pistol.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable and the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Damn.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies. And as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. you could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague, who opened up the meeting earlier, hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, "It's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. And no, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences." We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said: "It's out of my hands now. Just remember, you signed an agreement." He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So this meeting, bro.
Now that's a lot for a meeting right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and this person later on, he said, you know, this person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. With a few years after this, he ended up leaving the music industry.
Okay.
And he'd say he just, like, you know, over the years he just felt guilty, because he said as he sat back and he watched these plans come to a reality
over 2 decades,
he sat back and was like, wow, they really pulled it off.
Yeah.
They really pulled this off. He was like, they were told not to sign any more political rappers, any more rappers that had messages in their music.
No positivity.
It was all to be gangster rap music that they promoted and put out.
So if you wonder where Brand Nubians went, where Poor Righteous Teachers went, where Public Enemy went, where KRS-One went, and all sorts of groups like that was talking, even Queen Latifah and Moni Love and those, you know,
everybody.
What I'm saying? It's a back door.
Yeah, anything that was harmless, fun rap, you know, anything that had a message in it had to go.
Yeah, that's why if you even notice though,
we talk about that all the time.
Even be brief with it, you know what I'm saying? Those charms that came out like maybe in 1988, 89, the African charms.
I was just talking about that.
They lasted for about.
I was just talking about the African charms back in the day. We used to rock them Jones. Y'all remember that? Y'all from the 80s and all that, early 90s, we was rocking them African medallion, leather African medallion Jones. You know what I mean? I was just talking about that. That was the attire then. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
That was the attire then, but we trade those in for you know, gold medallions, Jesus pieces and all that. You know what I mean?
The influence started to change.
Yeah, the influence started to change, and you started seeing more of the rap industry looking like the drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Remember, the hip hop artists wasn't dressing like the drug dealer early on until like Run DMC came along and changed it up. And you see them with the Adidas sweat, you know what I mean? Adidas sweatsuits and all that. Kind of changed it up. But yeah, man. Yeah, let's continue.
About 2 years and they disappeared real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Now, after reading all this, you know, it actually made me feel a few different ways. The first emotion I felt was shocked, because I was definitely taken back by this, just knowing the level of evil that's involved by even thinking of a plan like this. You know what I'm saying? The second emotion I felt was anger. Anger because it's not enough for them to exploit our culture and make all the money off of it. Mm-hmm. Because let's keep it real, the industry has never been favorable towards the artists. Never. But they're going to go beyond the artists to get the artist to influence and lure in the consumer, which they knew at the time were mainly minorities.
Yep.
In other words, keep promoting gangster rap so that the youngsters will be influenced by them, which in turn will incite them to want to act like them. And it's a very good chance they'll end up in their prison.
Yeah.
So they're getting paid twice. They're getting paid from the artists they signing, and then they're getting paid from the people that these artists influence that goes to prison trying to be like these artists.
Yeah.
So they making a killing.
A killing.
They're using the music business to promote their private prison business.
My man is right there talking that right. 1988, a man named Tom Beasley, man. That's the co-founder of the corrections for Corporation of America. That's the CCA. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French. I'm reading this thing right there real quick. It's the CCA. So in 1988, he founded that, and this is in straight concert with the same thing. So it's like the music business. You do what you do on your side. And over here with the correction facilities, we're going to do on this side and now in 1970, there was 500 prisons. You know what I'm saying? Only 500 prisons in the United States. To this day, there's 1,700 prisons right now. That means big business. I'm talking about that done flippled over. You know what I'm saying? If flippled over is a word, because they're making a lot of money off of these things per inmate. You know what I'm saying? So getting with the same thing of the music, it all went hand in hand, and we just partying at the same time.
So us as the artists is the tool they use.
Yeah.
The music is the bait. Yep. And the young consumers are the prey. It's a cold game.
Cold game, bro.
Cold game. Then I feel sad. Sad because everything we seem to try to create, we always seem to give it away. We're always being tricked and deceived into believing that they have our best interests at hand when clearly they never have and they never will.
The money. It's the money that's controlling. You know what I'm saying? It's the money. If you be taking people out of the ghetto with, that lived in survival mode, and you signing niggas from out of prison, you signing niggas from gang culture. These are people that's in dire strait. You know what I mean? They gonna take whatever money that's handed to them because they don't have no means of nothing else. They get shot at every day. They going in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? They on drugs. It's like we take the lowest of the community and let's sign them because they the ones that's going to depend on us the most. Let's take the lowest of the community.
Yeah, but some of them niggas actors though. So they saying some of them niggas even went in as actors. Some of them rappers wasn't as poor as they say they were.
I mean, you kind of could see
everybody wasn't living the life. You know what I mean? People saying that some of them niggas, the agents, they wasn't living the life that they claimed they was living, but they was rapping about it.
Yeah, they was agents.
You know what I'm saying? They was rapping about it, but they wasn't living it.
Exactly. Because Tupac definitely wasn't living all that shit he was rapping about. That nigga from the School of Performing Arts.
That's what Katt said. If some of y'all niggas that just got here, if y'all rewind it back to the Katt segment, Katt said the same thing. He said a lot of the people who rap about it, but they don't really do it. He said a lot of them be fed. That's what he said. He's in that industry, so he would know, right?
Yeah, he would see more than we see.
Facts. But not necessarily since the internet is.
I mean, not since, but you know what I mean.
A lot now.
Probably like more hands-on as far as like inside things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like actually knowing names of people and knowing plans of things that, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Inside things, because if you're being approached by certain individuals, then we not privy to the information. See, it's different levels of information.
Facts.
It's information that the public know, and it's information that the insiders know. And sometimes
all that stuff is starting to come out.
Yeah, a lot of them is leaking.
That's the crazy thing.
That's because a lot of them is leaking all that. Yeah, they leaking everything because it's around that. It's that time. Everything.
And people are pretty much exposing themselves, though.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let me see. It was something else I wanted to pull up. All right. There was something else too. Yeah, let's jump into this before we get into Candace Owens, John. let's go ahead and get into Katt Williams, basically breaking down how all the rappers, the dead rappers, how all the companies benefit off the dead rapper. You know what I mean? So it's like they're getting a lot of different revenue streams off the rapper, like the dead rapper with the insurance. That they're using that rapper to, to put out certain messages in the music that cause a whole generation of kids to go to jail. It's like they got this shit mapped out, bro. They got it all mapped out. So let's go ahead and get into this Katt Williams video explaining how the rappers, you know what I mean, them dying is still big business.
What I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses.
But think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, yes. Will Smith and Chris Rock. It could only be what it has been, yes. With those two black men.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed, it goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought in the plan.
When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought in a plan.
Somebody, even if it looks like, yeah, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blame.
I believe that. I believe that.
Somebody benefit. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way. It would be hard for a homeless guy to get into the Hollywood Bowl, let alone a homeless guy be able to rush the stage and actually.
That's crazy. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
It's all a psyop, man.
This shit is all.
It's as fake as y'all. You know what I mean? It's as fake as y'all could ever believe.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You think of wrestling. You could think of a couple things. Wrestling. You know what I mean? You could think about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Like, you could think of a million things that you could tell was just scripted, psyop-y. You know what I'm saying? It's just. Hey, man.
Nah, that's real shit.
Yeah, everything. Shit, yeah, and then Cube did drop the John, say everything's corrupt. He did drop the album, a whole album called Everything is Corrupt. So he dropped conscious music. It's just that the radio don't pick that type of stuff up because that's not what they looking for.
Nah.
Right now, they want kids to continue to do drugs and harm each other.
Facts.
That's the music that they want to put out there.
Right, like we said, we're gonna do the follow-up. The follow-up, you know what I'm saying? Of
right.
But this live stream, the de-evolution of hip-hop. We have to. But I want to play this clip of Prodigy.
Reg, facts.
I want to play this clip of Prodigy as well. Prodigy, Mobb Deep said the hip hop task force that was put together to basically follow all the top rappers, to figure out what they doing. Make sure they wasn't, making plots against government or coming together and then pretty much shake them down as well. A lot of those federal agents, you be shaking these artists down. You know what I'm saying? Following them, planting drugs on them, all types of shit. Yeah. Yeah, that was more towards like the late 90s, middle 90s, late 90s and early 2000s where that hip hop police shit was real big.
Hip Hop Task Force was created to watch Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, to watch the artists that was connected with P. Diddy. And then it just grew. What they were doing was profiling black people that were making money in the music industry, even if they wasn't committing any crimes. A lot of times people say, you're a conspiracy theorist, you watch too many movies or something like that, you know? But a lot of stuff I was learning was very real, you know, and we're supposed to be out here like you know, everything is fine, life goes on, but you know, that's some shit that needs to stop. Yeah, that was when I first realized what was happening out here in this world and the genocide that they were putting on our people, like just speaking for our people right now, covertly. That made me cry.
Everybody said, well, that's another thing. Not just
he
the
was
prison,
tapped in.
not just the prison, but the killings as well. Don't leave out the killings.
He was tapped in.
Yeah, don't leave out just because of the prisons being filled up. Can't leave out the murders too. You know, population control in certain areas.
Right. Facts.
In America, some of these Negroes got to, you know, pass away.
The poisoning of our food.
Yeah,
that's coming to our areas.
Look how many rappers died from heart attack from eating bad diet foods. You know what I mean? It's a long list of them we can name. That just our diets is poor. Yeah, even the diets in the community is poor.
Well, that's not by accident, bro. That's that boils
design.
down to the government allowing all the chemicals in the food.
Right.
It ain't the food itself, it's the chemicals that's in the food.
Chemicals. Yeah.
That's it. It ain't nothing else but the harsh chemical drugs that's inside of all the food, especially in our neighborhoods. What the hug juices and penny candy and all that, that's all just straight. That's straight poison.
Right.
That's a whole psyop right there.
Hell yeah.
That's a whole all that sugar, all that processed sugar with all them chemicals.
Yeah.
And then start graduating to popping pills and drinking, and then you know what I mean, listening to the psyopy music with the crazy frequencies that got you going crazy. Like all that mixed together, bro, that creates a perfect hypnotized violent slave.
Yeah. Now let's get into
that's ready to be sent off to prison.
Yeah, we gonna definitely hop back into that. I just wanted to get this Candace Owens clip out the way when she said a lot of people don't be agreeing with Candace Owens. A lot of people don't like her, I mean. But she still makes some valid points. Even though you don't like her, doesn't mean, you know, some valid points don't be made. I mean, she blew that whole Black Lives Matter shit open. You know what I mean? And some people agree with her, some people don't. But I do agree with her with this, that gangster rap, the feds came in, and as we heard previous videos, the feds came in and basically used hip hop against the black culture. So she said a quote like, the black culture, hip hop wasn't made for the black culture or something. The feds came in and used it or some shit like that. But let's go ahead and get into this quick clip real quick. Candace, real quick.
Instead, what they're doing is their favorite course of action. They're calling everything a conspiracy theory. Just like Piers Morgan did when he rushed to yell at me about talking about Diddy being a Fed asset, even though he admits he didn't even read the lawsuit. Take a listen.
Again, you're being disingenuous because actually you're stating it as fact.
No, what I'm telling people
in the same way you say, I state my entire reputation of Bridget Macron as a man, you also stated as fact, nothing from a lawsuit. You just said he's not in jail, you tweeted, because he's a Fed CIA asset. Kanye tried to tell everybody.
Have you read the lawsuit? Because it seems like you haven't, obviously.
But that's your statement.
No. Did you read the lawsuit? That's the first thing, because we can skip the hyperbole. Did you read the lawsuit?
I'm asking you.
Okay, then we're not going to talk about this topic. So no, he didn't read the lawsuit, but he wants to make sure that I'm not saying that he is a federal asset. And he's not the only one. This has kind of been the perspective. Everyone's a conspiracy theorist that reads the lawsuit. Ben Shapiro also had some similar commentary. Take a listen.
Now, bottom line is that the feds obviously are going to fully investigate this. Now, you're seeing a lot of conspiracy theories out there today, and it's always the same people who it is odd how if you believe one conspiracy theory, you tend to believe literally all the conspiracy theories. That is the way this tends to work. And all the conspiracy theories tend to center around unnamed, unspecified people who are manipulating the system. And it can't just be that there are evil people who are participating in many evil things at any given time around the world, is they all are in cahoots with each other, and there is some grand master scheme. And that all this is a way of shutting Diddy up before he can speak about his paymasters. Okay, well, when the evidence of that emerges, then let me know. Alternatively, P. Diddy is an incredibly rich, incredibly famous celebrity who's been able to sexually gallivant as he pleases for literally 30 years, and then he got caught doing it in criminal ways.
There, because it's not a conspiracy when we are actually reading the lawsuit and looking at all the evidence, and the person did in fact name names. He named Lucien Grange as being the person that sat at the top of the ring and said that he was present when Lucien Grange would come over and go to Diddy's room. So I'm just not clear on the definition of conspiracy. But what I do know is that the history of using that term conspiracy theorist was something that was cooked up by the CIA as an effort to dispel rumors regarding JFK's death. So they recognize that if you keep calling people a conspiracy theorist and you keep saying it's a conspiracy, that people may shy away from the topic.
Well, we know it ain't no conspiracy with hip hop. No conspiracy theory with how hip hop was used to being weaponized against, our culture.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy fact because we can see the receipts all around us.
Exactly.
We see these kids is in a hypnotized state with the drill music, the popping the pills, the drinking the alcohol, and catching bodies and rapping about it on track.
Mm-hmm.
And making music videos.
And making music
with the victim's chain. With the victim's chain. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that if you don't think that's the psyop right there, and these kids are not hypnotized by the music, by the influence of the frequencies that's in the music, and then the drugs on top of the alcohol, then you blind, man. Because it's apparent to anybody who's paying attention.
Right.
And they don't know that they're in a hypnotic state. They don't realize they are. That's how crazy it is. They don't realize they're in a hypnotic state, y'all. Those of us that can see that these kids are in a hypnotic state, I'm just letting y'all know the kids don't know that they're in a hypnotic state. They're completely delusional. It's almost like they're under some type of crazy programming, because even if you try to get through to them, they could never hear you.
Look at this quote. She said, "Gangster rap was never
MK Ultra."
She said, "Gangster rap was never black culture. It was created by the feds, who preferred deals with homosexual black men in prison and then turned them into artificial celebrities. The goal was to create false idols and destroy America's values. I would never change my mind on this." I mean, we see that. I mean, Ice Cube just broke it down to you in John with Bill Meyer. They used them niggas basically to implement gangster, turn the heat up on gangster rap so they could feed the prisons. Not only that, the crack came in. I remember the early 80s, the crack came in. They really did it. They really did psychological damage to our community, man. Niggas still hard to recover from that shit. Real
Yeah,
talk.
a lot of us far gone, bro. We far gone.
Yep.
It's past the point of no return. The hypnosis is so deep and ingrained into their psyche that they don't even know that they're under this hypnotic state. And it's like that with people with social media in general.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much psychological damage this is doing to all of us. But the kids even more.
It has done.
Yeah, and
still,
continues to do.
It's still doing.
And continue to do, right. And it just depends on the type of mind you have to interpret all of this. You know what I'm saying? If sometimes people don't have the mind to even process all this crazy stuff that's going on around us. So they just it's like they just block it out. Cause I just don't even want to know. It's either they scared, it's like a deep scared of just not wanting to know. At the same time, just remaining ignorant. But a lot of the kids, they gone. Like their conscious is gone. Like it's completely gone with the frequency or whatever they using out there to control these kids' minds through that music, through those pills, through that alcohol. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why any of y'all even trust that alcohol. I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody drinks Ciroc anymore. I mean, like, just think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
why
don't
would
think.
you why would you even trust anything from any of them at this point? You don't know what they putting in those bottles. Like,
Yeah.
like, why even trust it?
Unless you drinking like some
Like, why would you take that
top
risk?
shelf shit, like top of the best of the best drink. You know what I mean? Like aged wines and shit like that. Like things that you know, great value to it, as far as like you know, being treated a certain way, created a certain way. But when it comes down to dealing with any type of malt liquors or shit that you know that's geared towards our community, I
They
really don't trust
target, yeah, they put shit in it because they know the
it.
lot numbers and they know which neighborhoods that stuff is going to. They know
Mhm.
niggas love Henny, niggas love Newports. You know what I mean? Niggas love pills. You know what I'm saying? And niggas love malt liquor. So those are the things, and they love fast food. So those are the things they're going to target. Bro, it's a whole covert operation out here, bro. It's advanced. It's probably more advanced than any of y'all can even comprehend where I'm going with this. Like, it's all connected. Like the food, the music, the shit that they spraying in the air. Like, they hitting us from all different. It's like they control a whole grid with this shit. And it's like, all right, it's like they already using AI. They already using AI. Cause that type of complexity right there that they're using to control everything like that in the environment, that's insane, bro. That's insane. Like, who's keeping account of all this shit? You know what I mean? Who's keeping account of all this shit that they doing? It's all connected, obviously.
Mhm.
Like, that's advanced. These young cats out here don't even know that they're under hypnosis. Like, if you just watch how when they do their music videos, how they just all over the place with real guns in the video, mind you. Like, they shoot their own, like, the phones and the cameras is so good now, you can shoot your own music video and it look perfect. So they be on there with real guns, real drugs, real money. You know what I mean? Real money. You know what I mean? Real victims' chains.
They be on there with fake ass money. They get that Temu money or that money from
That
Amazon.
too. With
It be all
real
all
victim, but with
all
a
that
real
shit be
victim's
fake.
chain though.
Yeah,
That's
all
the
that shit
crazy
be fake.
part.
Or if it ain't fake, then they're giving, a lot of producers of those music videos or companies, they provide them with all that shit for the music video.
I don't know. Some niggas have been caught with real money on camera and have went to jail. Like, where'd you get that money?
Oh yeah.
There have been. That's bro.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
true too.
all right. Now you get
Yeah.
where I'm going, bro. You don't
Shout
even
out,
gotta say no
brother.
names. It
Yeah, I ain't gotta
happened.
say no names.
It
Yeah, right.
happened a lot. It happened a lot more than
Yeah,
you
man.
think.
Yeah, we
Even
ain't
like
gotta
a
say no
little
names.
underground rapping niggas from different cities that end up coming up locally. You know what I mean? A little bit nationally. Even they be doing that and be getting caught. They be linking that to that. Bro, it's this whole system that we in, bro. It's a surveillance state. But then they
Yeah,
got some people under hypnotic control. Like some people under a trance, deep in a
Right.
trance, and they under hypnotic control. And it's mostly the young kids in the inner cities.
Yo, well, we need a quick favor from y'all. We need everybody to hit that like button, man. If you didn't, I need y'all to hit that like button because we're gonna do a follow-up on this live stream, but we need this live stream to circulate. We need this in the we need this in the
Fact,
algorithm.
this is an important live stream.
This one we need in the algorithm because we're gonna do a follow-up live stream of basically the de-evolution of hip hop. So we need y'all to smash the like. We need everybody that got access to that like button right now. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications. We need that favor from y'all. Definitely appreciate it.
Facts.
Shout out to all y'all. A lot of y'all new here too, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, like, you know what I mean, that's tuning in. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all that newer people that came along to subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean, to recognize what we doing here. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. Cause we gotta keep the information flowing. I don't know what else the other niggas doing out here. That's their concern. That's their business. But we here gonna push that information.
Facts. We gotta touch on the stuff that most people don't talk about.
Most people ain't talking about it, right? Because
Yeah, they ain't talking about how all this is connected.
Yeah, because you can go anywhere and get the same shit. But where you might see some shit that being talked about in the titles, but we go more in depth. We go more in depth than probably anybody else that you listen to, as far as like in the that speak on celebrities and all that shit. Gotta kind of like talk because it's bigger than just the celebrity.
Facts.
And that's what people gotta realize. Like I tuned in like to Linnell. I heard Linnell talking about she wished that Beyonce would go live. Like she'd probably break the internet if she went live. And I'm like, well, Beyonce just can't push that live button because they so heavily controlled that she can't just push the live button. She act like she don't.
Linnell should know that.
Beyonce just can't get on Instagram live and push the live button. That's not how it works. When you got that many influence over hundreds of millions of people, that shit is controlled, highly controlled.
It damn sure is.
Cause what happened if she flipped on that live stream button and just start spilling all the shit about the industry and feds, and she started talking about some deep shit on the live stream? They had cut that live stream off, then they'd be right at her doorstep, locking her up, putting in some type of crazy facility.
Or it looked like an Anne Hesh. Or it looked like an Anne Hesh.
Right, or they make it look like an accident or something. Yeah.
It'd
like
be some Anne Hesh.
Right. Yeah, she can't just click that live button and say what she wants. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah, that Linnell should know that.
Right.
They don't understand. The bigger you get, the more of a threat to national security they see you if they ain't able to control you.
Facts.
That's why they hated Michael Jackson so much. Because when he broke away from them and they couldn't control him anymore, that scared the hell out. Bro, that scared the So I'm feeling like Diddy probably was planning on doing the same thing, and they heard it.
He was. Do I need to remind
the same thing, and he heard it.
Hold on, let me pull.
And they heard it.
Let me pull some of this shit up, cause Diddy was talking that shit, bro.
Diddy was talking too revolutionary for them.
He was talking that big shit, and then he started Revolt TV, and it's right there in the name, Revolt TV. Like, you can't come along talking that shit, Diddy, and then think you're gonna still be able to use those people money against them. That's not happening, bro. Let me pull this shit up, bro.
That nigga probably got said he probably was talking that slick shit to some of his peers, and they ratted him out. Like, Diddy came to us. Yeah, Diddy came to us like, yeah, we all billionaires. We should take this shit over, even from them.
Yeah, like you can't come.
That white man heard what you said, Steve.
Right, exactly. Like, nigga, you can't just talking that shit. You know what I mean?
That's what Monique said to Steve Harvey when they fired him off the show. Because I guess he said something slick to her, you know what I mean? And they heard somebody heard what he said. Monique had to put him on blast for that. Yeah, they hear. Yeah, if you try to talk some revolutionary shit, especially if you try to sway people and you got that much influence,
right? Let me pull
they
up
coming after you. They coming after you.
We pull up this shit Diddy was saying, man. Like, you can't just talk that shit and think you're gonna use those people money and talk that shit. Like, nah, that ain't how it goes. Listen to this shit.
But there's a level that you get to, and you're successful, and you get to the point of being successful. And as a black person, there's this thing that kicks in. There's this jealousy that kicks in. There's this fear that kicks in. Then they start to burn things down. Then they start to take the money out the Freedom Bank. Then they go back on the 40 acres and a mule. Then we don't deserve our worth. So even Hov, Jay, none of us are immune to it. He had to sue Bacardi to get his worth. Like they make us at the next level. You think that you've overcome everything. Oh, I finally made it. And then there's a whole nother army up there that is there to try to push you down the hill. And that's why from being at the mountaintop, I could come back down and tell y'all the only way out of this is if we can unify and combine our forces, because what's waiting for you up there.
Yeah, don't talk
Notice
that
how he
unity
added
shit.
Jay?
Yeah.
Notice how he added Jay name?
Yeah, don't talk that unity shit.
He said, yeah, me and Ho, but me and Jay. You're right. Now they going after Jay.
Right.
Bro.
Right, bro. You think
Bro,
people think
you
shit
see
is,
how he named names? How
like,
many
you
other
can't.
names y'all think did he name?
I kind of feel him what he's saying, but you taking them people money and you saying that shit. Like, you can't take their money and then try to think you're gonna use those folks' money against them.
Right.
Like, he sued Diageo. That's one of the biggest liquor. That's the biggest liquor company in the world, distribution company in the world, liquor brands in the world. And you can't think you're gonna go against them and think they still gonna pay you.
He probably was talking that Nino Brown shit. I'm gonna go against all y'all niggas. None of that Ciroc, none of that shit would be nothing without me. He probably was on that type of level with them.
And then he started talking that political shit.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war, but it would also.
He can't talk that. See, you see all that shit he talking, race war, and we on a. He talked all that stuff, right? Nah, bro. Hey, you can't be talking that and taking those people's money at the same time. That's what they,
To be irresponsible of me to just let this moment go by. The world is watching, and not do everything I can to make sure that going forth that we're a part of the narrative, that we own our politics. And so I'm launching one of the boldest movements that I've ever launched, and it's called Our Black Party.
See, yeah, you can't talk about black parties and all that shit. Your own black political party, but you taking them folks' money to start that party. How's that supposed to work? Yeah.
Yeah. You already know, because by Diddy personality, he probably got too big. It ain't good to get too big.
All right.
His head got too big. Pause. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Because you gotta think about it. He probably in his mind, he's like, you know what I mean? He probably think about the position that they put him in.
I'm the culture. Yeah, I'm the culture.
Right. Yep.
That's my people.
Yep. Yelling that into the phone to them and saying, yep, y'all wouldn't have been shit without me. Diageo wouldn't have been nothing without my Ciroc and my De Leon. You know what I'm saying? You already know his mindset. They heard this Negro talking like that. Oh, you uppity nigger. They probably had one of those type of moments. And then he gonna try to go out there and get political because things ain't going right in his business dealings. Same thing that Cube did. Cube started getting political as soon as shit wasn't working out with the big three. He started getting more political again. Not saying that he wasn't getting political in his music, because he always kept it political in the music. But he ain't say nothing on no interviews. His interviews was just about promoting what next project he had. But as soon as things ain't going right in his business, the interviews is about Cube doing a tour around the United States and exposing the industry.
The Black Plan. Remember he kept talking about the Black Plan? The Black Plan and all that shit. These niggas always, you notice, every time these niggas get in a pickle, they always come out speaking revolutionary shit.
You just gotta call it how it is. Like,
But
we
then
gotta
as soon as
call it
things
how
going
we
right
see
for
it.
them, they back on that shit again as soon as everything going good for them.
We can't, bro, we can't overlook this. I can't overlook it. It bothers me. Because I see it clear as day.
I can see
Like, soon as shit ain't going good, niggas want to get political. Because Diddy wasn't talking no political shit when everything was going good.
Nah, it's when the Diageo shit.
He only started talking that political shit when people's when he started having beef with Diageo and all of them.
They started having problems with that. Yeah, with certain entities. He started that nigga started speaking out. He started a whole station, right? Revolt TV, just so he could talk about that shit. That
They
right
sent
there.
Shine in there. They sent Shine in there for a year to set him up.
Yeah, they sent Shine in there
Shine they sent Shine in there wired up.
Shine went in there wired up. He said, I tried to spit in his face when he came to see me. Now you spit in his face. Now, 20 years later, after you did the time and Diddy in jail, now you spit in his face when he came to see you. Come on,
They
bro.
sent Shine in there wired up. He spent his birthday with him. That nigga had him come perform. All that was on tape. All the little the backroom conversations was recorded. That's why Diddy was shook at the end. It was Pat and Justin Bieber making sure Bieber ain't have a wire on.
Yeah, we might have to get into this shit too. Another figure that's talking that shit. Miss Madonna here. Miss Madonna here said. Peep what she said though. People Miss Madonna.
Man.
People Miss Madonna said real quick.
Michael is gone. Tupac is gone. Prince is gone. Whitney is gone. Amy Winehouse is gone. David Bowie is gone. But I'm still standing.
Well, she probably worked with the feds after saying that shit. She said she's still standing. That's because she worked with the feds. That bitch said, I'm still standing. She said, all them people gone, but I'm still standing. Yeah. Yeah, she said Sean was mic'd up. Hell yeah, Sean was mic'd up. Bro, I gotta find that. Hold on, let me get to that.
Yeah, that nigga was mic'd up.
Let me get to that real quick, bro.
Yeah, because niggas was saying, Sean, you fake Sean because you all of a sudden you got this whole you in this documentary, but basically putting Diddy down, but you was with him just a couple months ago partying with him. He had to be wearing a wire. So why would you party with the nigga and you feel like he's your enemy that you want to spit in his face?
Yo, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram too. 9day_network on Instagram. You know what I mean?
We see this nigga partying with him.
Where that shit at?
Having a toast. They was having a toast at the table.
I spit in his face when he came. Where that shit at, bro?
You know what I'm saying? Now a couple months later, you know what I mean? All of a sudden he your enemy. He ruined your life. He ruined my life. That nigga said he ruined my life. He ruined your life, but you just had dinner with the nigga.
There you go.
Once, and I think I tried to spit in his face.
Okay.
Now you try to spit in his face.
And Rikers Island. So
that's probably why he didn't come back here.
He's a billionaire. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have been a billionaire. If I would have cooperated with the district attorney, he'd have went to jail, and heaven knows what would have happened to his career.
Look, all that. Damn, Sean, all that.
That sounds bitter. Like he had definitely worked with the feds now.
Man, all that, Sean.
Yeah, I work with y'all to finally bring him down. I should have did this years ago. That's what
That's what it sounds like, bro.
I went in there mic'd up, bro.
I felt he owed me something. And so it's like, he probably gave me like 50 racks. He came to see me once, and I think I tried to spit in his face.
Now you spit in, now years later, you spit in his face. These guys,
He
bro.
felt like that. You think he'd be sitting having dinner with him, having a toast with him, actually performing a couple of shows with him, going to events, taking pictures with him. You think he'd be doing all that if he thought that he just wanted to spit in his face? He had to be Mike. There had to be another agenda, or he's just a fake nigga.
Feds.
It's either he's extremely fake or he was in there, you know what I mean, doing an operation. He was in there mic'd up. Like he was in a booth the whole time. Diddy ain't even know he was in a booth. Diddy ain't even know he was making a song. Sean had Diddy in the booth. He ain't even know it.
He ain't even know it, bro.
That nigga ain't even know it. A whole song. He probably had Diddy saying all types of shit. Yeah, you remember that time, Diddy, when we he probably acting like they old friends. Yeah, you remember that time when we did this and we did that? Setting him up the whole time.
There you go.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just
There you go. There you go. There you go.
It's funny as hell. It ain't funny, but it's funny as hell,
18-year-old
bro.
kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas and that.
Spent a birthday with him once.
I
saw a birthday cake.
I went again
Right,
to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombali. This is someone that destroyed my life, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
In your at the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through Revolt Media, were you aware of these freak off events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my goodness, Jules Vasquez.
Nigga shine the whole character out here, yo.
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of them?
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of the freak offs?
So I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
This nigga is a whole actor out here, bro. That nigga was wired up. He definitely was wired up. That nigga had Diddy. That nigga had Diddy in a booth, y'all. Diddy was singing. Diddy ain't even know he was making a song. He made a whole album for the feds. This nigga, no way. Nigga, just a couple months ago, y'all was having a toast at dinner. Niggas had the champagne, the wine glasses up, having a toast. But now he ruined my life. All that, bro. And then when you seen it with Diddy, of course the accent was he was back to the regular nigga.
Right.
He was back to the regular nigga, like, and then he switched when he become the Bailey man. He's a completely different character.
Yup. Yo, we need everybody to click that like button, please. If y'all just coming in and tuning in,
personalities,
please hit that like button, because we will be doing a follow-up live stream to this live stream. But we need everybody to click that like button. We need this in heavy rotation. This is one of them ones. that we need a heavy rotation.
Agent
before we-
Sean.
You know what I mean? If you ain't clicked that like button, you got access to that like button. I suggest you click it right now. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get
Definitely
it.
appreciate it.
Appreciate all the support, y'all. For sure.
Yeah, all right. What type of nigga sling a bang in the streets? Bad boy.
I mean, these niggas is straight. Like, he moving like an agent, bro. I'm sorry. Like, Sean moving like an agent out here. This nigga got many different hats. This nigga got many different hats. This nigga is like a star rapper to like a prisoner, gangster revolutionary to a political leader to, you know what I mean? To basically being sent on operations to snitch on old friends. Like, this nigga got many different, this is the jack of all trades out this motherfucker.
All right.
Like, these niggas lives be like agents and shit. I don't know, bro. This should be crazy to me. I mean, they was Diddy patting Bieber down for wire in one of those videos?
Yeah.
Like, them niggas be afraid that they getting set up too, because you know they said Al Sharpton was wearing a wire.
Yeah, he was wearing a wire against the Genovese family. Yeah.
I mean, like, a nigga be wearing a wire, like.
And Sharpton definitely was mic'd up.
That's proof
Y'all
right there that they
Y'all
working
remember
with
that?
the Fed.
Y'all remember that came out in the media? That Al Sharpton was mic'd up.
Mic'd up, bro.
He wore a wire against the mafia. I know most of y'all probably remember that. Yep, he admitted that he wore a wire. He was an informant. He said he was an informant. He admitted, Al Sharpton said he was an informant for the FBI.
Yikes.
Yep. He was an informant for the FBI. Let me pull that clip up, bro.
Yikes.
Let me pull that clip up, bro.
That's just more evidence that, you know what I
That's
mean,
more
these niggas
what
is
it brought with the
controlled.
Fed. Yeah, because that ties in with this, bro. That ties in with this shit.
We heard
Hold on.
what Mark Zuckerberg said on Joe Rogan. The feds was on his ass. Everything that was out there that they felt that they ain't went on Facebook, they would call him up, screaming on the phone, telling him to take it down now. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to show you, in some type of capacity, these big companies, all these celebrities is working with these niggas in some type of way, because it's like the biggest mafia.
Yeah.
They out here operating like the mafia.
Reverend Al Sharpton admits to being an FBI informant. Let's get into that, yo.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois. Those stories are straight ahead. But first, after all these years, the Reverend Al Sharpton admits he was an FBI informant.
Yes, he says that he was the cat that got the rats. But others say that Sharpton's secret life was not by choice. CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer has the story.
Michelle Obama probably never knew that one of the guests at her recent White House 50th birthday party was an FBI mafia informant who helped bring down members of the Genovese crime family. Reverend Al Sharpton, now a confidant of both the First Lady and the President and of Mayor Bill de Blasio, has his own unique take on his days as the government's confidential informant number 7.
In my own mind, I was not an informant. I was cooperating with investigations.
The revelations threaten to embarrass Sharpton as he kicks off his National Action Network convention this week, with de Blasio and President Obama the headliners. But de Blasio, who calls Sharpton family, is sticking by his buddy.
Doesn't change the relationship one bit. I'm very proud to be his friend. I think he has done a lot of good for the city of New York and for this country. I have the exact same positive view of him I had before.
Sharpton has been dogged for years by reports that he was an FBI informant, helping the government go after boxing promoter Don King and music executives. Now we learn he also went after
music executives, y'all. Said he was going after Don King and music executives. So when we tell you these niggas work with the feds, these niggas admit they work with the feds.
We tying it all together for y'all. We tied the whole big picture. Please share this video. Please share this video.
Hit that like button.
We're tying in everything together. Like, it's all connected. All this shit is connected.
So
The whole entertainment industry is ran by the state. All right, it's ran by the feds.
I got hit.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Let's continue though. Hold on.
After mobsters, including the legendary
My head before.
Sharpton has been dogged for years by reports that he was an FBI informant, helping the government go after boxing promoter Don King and music executives. Now we learn he also went after mobsters, including the legendary Vincent the Chin Gigante, the so-called Oddfather who paraded around in his bathrobe and pajamas. Though he has ducked and dodged questions about whether he wore a wire for the feds, that wasn't possible today since a batch of government documents were made public.
The conversations were recorded.
And there's also the issue of how he became an informant. Some say he was pressured into it after he was caught in a drug sting. This HBO undercover sting video that aired in 2002 shows Sharpton with a cowboy hat pulled down over his bouffant hairdo. Sharpton appears to nod when an agent offers him a cut from future drug sales. But now Sharpton claims he went to the feds for protection from threats from mob-connected music executives and was asked to rat out the bad guys.
They were threatening to kill me.
And while the feds say his information helped bring down guys like Gigante, Sharpton says he didn't know how his information was being used.
I have never met any of these guys. The guy with the pajamas, I don't walk around with guys that walk outside pajamas. I never met these guys.
Sharp, you knew exactly who the Chin was. Don't act like you don't know who the Chin was, nigga. He's running all New York. You know who the Chin was.
Some conversations were recorded.
Sharp, the funny as hell.
Well, Sharpton says he's not embarrassed by anything that he did. What he is embarrassed about, he says, is how, quote, fat he used to be now that he has reinvented.
That boy used that wire, boy. That boy was brung out everybody. He was telling on everybody, boy. Yo, Sharp, the funny as shit. He said conversations was recorded.
They control the entertainment business. And they control corporation.
And he was control of the civil rights movement as well. Don't get confused. Don't get it effed up like they wasn't in control of that out here. Like they wasn't in control of the civil rights movement. Because they damn sure was. Controlling both sides.
We connecting the dots for y'all. Like it's public. It's not even hidden anymore. So now what? Why are we still supporting any of these motherfuckers out here? All these idol celebrities. You just seen what Jamie Foxx's son living in the car. You see what he was saying. These celebrities don't care nothing about y'all. I'm his son. He don't even care about me. Niggas don't care. Niggas don't care about man. Oh, they doing it for the check, and they be agents for that check. Niggas be looking up to these celebrities and these politicians and all. They don't give two shits about none of y'all.
That nigga Sharpton.
None of them do.
Sharpton said conversations was recorded. Yo. Oh shit. Yo, definitely hit that like button, y'all, man. This is one of the ones like right here. It's live stream. All right, we did pretty good on this likes. We almost at 350. We can get them Jones to 350 before we get up off of here. We got
this is sponsored by NightandDayHerbals.com. You know what I'm saying?
We had 344 likes. Go ahead and get that to 350. And shop with us, man. 90 Day Herbals, soaps, body oils, detox, natural detoxes, natural CBD. We got pre-rolls, vapes. We got flowers. We got topical stuff as well. CBD cigarettes for y'all that they're trying to get off them Newports and whatever else y'all be, tobacco y'all be puffing on and shit. Get them natural CBD cigarettes.
This is definitely a healthier option because it ain't sprayed with all them damn chemicals. We don't use any synthetic chemicals or nothing on our CBD. It's all grown naturally. Highest quality that you can find. Highest quality. All of our products are grown naturally. We don't do any type of synthetic chemicals. And all the other people we work with, they have the same practices. We don't do no synthetic chemicals, no synthetic dyes, and none of that. You know what I'm saying? So everything you're getting from us is definitely high quality, and it works. It does what it says it do. We ship pretty fast. 5 stars on Google. NightandDayHerbals.com.
Appreciate y'all.
You get
So
15% off. You know what I'm saying?
ND Herbals 2025 is the discount code.
Facts. And make sure you sign up to the email list because we send out different discounts, birthday discounts. Plus, we're gonna start putting content through the newsletter too. So sign up to the email list on the website. If y'all haven't already, make sure y'all open up those newsletters.
Link in description of this video and pinned to the top. Shit, man. And we will be doing a follow-up live stream. So
hell yeah.
If any breaking media shit happen, we hop on here and do that as well. Anything breaking happens in the media, but we definitely want to continue this this hip hop discussion. Shit. On that note, we're gonna get up out of here, y'all. Catch you on the next live stream. All right.
Peace.
Peace out.
Do you have neurological pain, chest pain, heart palpitations, headaches, brain fog, anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, and abdominal discomfort? With all the environmental disasters and contaminants plaguing our land, water, air, and food, we need something to counteract all the pollution that is making us sick. This is where zeolite comes to the rescue. Millions of people have been using detoxification supplements to remove harmful toxins, pollutants, heavy toxic metals, as well as to balance pH levels. Lower the risk of risks like cold and flu, support the immune system, and improve nutrient absorption. What is zeolite? Zeolite is a volcanic ash that forms over time when ash and lava react with alkalized water, resulting in a compound with a very strong cage-like structure and a negative charge. Zeolite is one of the most fascinating and powerful nature remedies available. Great to detox and balance your body. Health benefits of detoxing. The removal of excess heavy metals can improve overall health. Detoxification helps balance a body's pH levels. This product provides 30 capsules, 1 month supply, ships within 3 days. Purchase now at Night and Day, netmarket.com, and haven't been evaluated by the FDA. We do not claim our product cure or treat any ailments. Please consult with your medical health care provider to see if ZeoAid will be right for you.